I'd like to welcome you back to the video number 3. This is a Sustainable Urban Governance class that we're presenting on YouTube, and it's a course that I'm offering live in New Orleans at the Architectural Office of FUTUREPROOF. And what we are talking about is, this is video number 3, we're talking about various aspects of how to run government transparently, with accountability, and being able to measure what it is that we call success. The information that you can access online, you can go to futureproofnola.com and get the draft standard for urban governance, which is one of the readings that we're looking at. Also, Third Leg Consultants, which is my website, and I've got 2 readings under the academic and philosophical papers. And that first one is the Hope Crisis Continuum, and the other one is the Public Revenue and Outlay Transparency. These 2 are key to the course. And one of the things that I'm trying to do in this course is prepare students so that they can go into a city, go into a department, and ask the tough questions to public officials and find out exactly what's going on with the way the government's working. Because it's my belief that any city, any department can put down what's going on in their department, in their city, put it on an 8.5, 11 sheet of paper, and be able to assess the health of the government system, the department. And that's really what my goal is. Now, to get to that 8.5, 11 sheet of paper, it's going to take a lot of work, because you have to have a lot of study and a lot of research done, especially in New Orleans. So what I did in the first couple of classes, just give an overview of what the urban governance is about, what sustainable urban governance is all about. But what I'm going to do now is go into the first of 3 key concepts within sustainable urban governance. The first one is what I call assets or public capital. And so assets and public capital, as identified by Hadley, and there's some readings that I'm going to have to search up to get you people up to date. He was from the 1890s. He had a concept of public capital, and it's closely related to the economists of the 18th and actually 17th century continental Europe, where they had this idea of public capital as a quantity. I talked about earlier, well, in the video number 2, about how public wealth is more of a concept of a rate, where you have so many dollars per day, dollars per year, whereas public capital is a fixed amount of money. Public capital, a quantity, consists of useful things that are useful for the public. Private capital, which is subsumed within public capital, is a title and rights to a part of those useful things. And remember, I'm talking about what this professor of political economy from Yale University from 1896, a guy named Hadley. Also associated with the cyclical use to make additional capital. That's what he was talking about public capital being. And then capital at a particular moment. So those are all, those 4 things is what Hadley called public capital, which I think is a pretty good description. Now, in terms of public wealth, again, we're talking about a rate of wealth being created. It's a flow, it's not a fund. If you want in terms of more qualitative terms, you could call public wealth the general welfare, happiness, institutional knowledge of infrastructure, assets, and systems. It's income, capital obtained during a specific period of time. One of the things that I have on the slide now, you'll see in the video, is that each infrastructure type can be identified as operating within an infrastructure management system framework, as illustrated below. And what you'll see on in this diagram is a circle called database, and then off to the right is the system-wide level, project level monitoring and evaluation. And rather than get too complicated or complex with this, just think in terms of what we're trying to do is that there's a infrastructure system that has a system-wide importance, and then you have one that's on a project level, kind of a smaller level. But each of those systems need a aspect of monitoring and evaluation, and you put that into a database that you've decided these are important things to measure. And then down on the bottom of this, below the database, is this performance measure for the entire process. And what I'm trying to get at here is an idea that whether we put in new infrastructure or we're maintaining old infrastructure or what you call public capital, is that you're monitoring what's going on so that you know whether money is being spent correctly or not. Now, after you've gone several cycles on this kind of analysis, you start developing what's called institutional knowledge, where you say, oh yeah, that kind of bridge, it was built on poor soils, we probably should have put better foundations, well maybe we should tear it down and do it right. You could probably take every street in New Orleans, rip them up and do them right, and we'd probably save money over the long run. That's kind of, yeah, I was talking about assets and public capital, and before I end the video number 3, I just want to go back to the important diagram that I'm going to be showing quite often so it gets drilled into your head, is the idea of the intersection of the economy, society, and environment, and the double overlaps there being the economy and the society. This is the public capital, what we just talked about. Next one, we're going to be going over here to sustainable design, and that's going to be the subject of video number 4. So I'll be joining you in the next video, number 4. So thank you.